Let's say you're looking for a piece of gear that has all of the essentials for your guitar tone. A piece of gear that is nice and light, allowing you to go from gig to gig without having to lug around all kinds of equipment with you. And of course, a piece of gear that does not break the bank, so budget friendly. Well, today we are checking out the Tonechain TC-1 and TC2 from JOYO. Let's get into it. JOYO is no stranger to the budget guitar gear world. Over the years, they have brought a huge variety of different guitar pedals, amplifiers, and much, much more. So if you haven't heard of JOYO by now, I definitely recommend you go and check them out. Seriously, go check them out. But anyways, I am here to happily introduce you guys to the Tonechain TC-1 and the Tonechain TC2 from JOYO. Both of these are multifunction effect pedals that will give you just about everything that you need to start your guitar tone. Both the TC-1 and TC-2 will have a very simple layout with a pretty much set signal chain, taking the guessing work out for those of us that might not know where certain effects go within the signal chain. So I chose the TC-1 first to go through because I figured let's just take this in numerical order. So on the TC-1, you will have a tap feature which will allow you to set the timing for your delay effect right here. And if you hold in the foot switch for your tapping feature, the LED screen right here will light up and you will have a tuner. So it's kind of an all-in-one package, which is really nice. For the delay, you have a mix knob, you have a feedback knob, and you also have a time knob. And then in the middle is going to be your preamp. This is the distortion. This is going to be like the sound of your amplifier for this unit. You will have a gain knob, you will have a level knob, and a tone knob, which the tone knob is how you're going to be setting your EQ. It's going to be a full EQ sweep of the spectrum. It's just a one knob EQ. So if you want a different EQ, I suggest using an EQ pedal in the effects loop on these guys. And then there is a low and a high switch where when you're on the high, it'll boost it a little bit and really emphasize on those high and high mid frequencies. And then all the way over here is your overdrive with a drive knob, a level knob, and a tone knob. The TC2 will look a lot like the TC1, except with a few different changes on it, like the voicing of the distortion, which is a little bit more aggressive and more aimed towards the metal crowd, so being more primarily a metal guitarist, I am just fine with that. But the TC2 will have the same tap feature, it will have the same tuner, it also has the same delay with the mix knob, the feedback knob, and the time knob. And of course, it does have the same overdrive with the drive knob, the level knob, and the tone knob. What is really different is the distortion section. You're going to have a 3-band EQ, you're going to have a high frequency knob, you're going to have a mid frequency knob, and a low frequency knob to really adjust the EQ a lot better on this one. You're also going to have the gain knob, you're going to have a frequency knob, which will allow you to adjust the EQ just a little bit more and really customize it and really tweak it to your liking, and also a level knob. The rest of the features on the TC1 and TC2 are going to be completely identical. So on the side of both units, you will have 2 balanced XLR outs, one left and one right. You can send these to a mixer, you can send them to your audio interface, and I absolutely love this feature because I like to silent record and not bother my neighbor. On the back here, you have your guitar input. You have a full send and return effects loop. So like what I was saying earlier, if you want to be able to have more power over your EQ section, throw an EQ pedal into the effects loop and it does wonders. Right here, you have a left and right unbalanced TRS out. Left will be mono. You have a cab simulator on and off switch. So this guy does have a cab simulator already built in, but I love having the idea of being able to turn it off and use your own third-party IRs if you prefer to do that. You have an auxiliary in and a 9-volt power section right here. So any power unit that you use for your pedals that is a 9-volt will be able to power this with no problem. Let's go over my thoughts on the Tonechain TC-1 and TC2 from JOYO. So JOYO has sent me these pedals and asked me to check them out for you guys, but do keep in mind, any thoughts or opinions are my own. I want to keep this as unbiased as possible, but I think these pedals are actually pretty cool. I think they are great pedals for those of us that might be starting out and just wanting something that is plug and play. You plug in, you get a guitar tone, and you're able to dabble with it a little bit. I love the customization of these pedals as well, because even though it is a set signal chain, you can still turn on and turn off each of the modulators separately. So let's say you don't like the overdrive that's on the TC1 or TC2, you can turn it off, still keep the distortion on, but you can boost the front of it with your own overdrive pedal if you have a separate one, which is really cool. And like I said, in the effects loop, if you need more power over your EQ section, throw an EQ pedal in there. The distortions on the TC1 and TC2 were a little fuzzy in my own opinion, which is not a bad thing. There's a lot of people that really like fuzzier distortions. They just tend not to be my favorite kind of distortion. But what I did find was on the TC1, despite it having a much fuzzier distortion than the TC2, it had great cleans and crunchy cleans as well, while the TC2 was more tailored towards the high gain metal crowd because the distortion had just a slight bit of fuzz on it, but it wasn't anything that I couldn't work with. It still had a nice edge on it and everything, and I love the EQ on the TC2. Having that 3-band EQ is a huge help. As far as the cab simulator goes, I think I prefer my own third-party IRs that I have versus the built-in cab simulator, but I love that JOYO added the ability to turn off the cab simulator. That is great. So if you want to use your own third-party IRs, you are more than welcome to do that. But like I said, I think these are awesome pedals, especially for those of us that are just getting started on our tone chasing journey. If you guys are interested in getting your hands on the Tonechain TC1 or TC2, I will have the link for that down in the description below. If you are enjoying my videos in any way, shape, or form, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps me out a ton here on the channel. And with that being said, my name is Chris with High Impact Audio, and I will see you guys next time.